Hey guys, namaste. I'm Kay. Today I want to talk a little bit about honesty. Speaking your truth is one of the best things you can do for your health and well-being and the health and well-being of your relationships. Because when we hold something back, when we lie by omission or white lie, or neglect to say something we know we should, we break promises with ourselves. We learn not to trust ourselves. We learn that we say even something as simple as, oh, I'm going to have dinner at 6 o'clock and it's really important to me, and then we don't eat. It tells our body, hey, what I say doesn't matter. It means that when I tell myself I love you, it says, no, I don't believe it, you lie. It becomes very hard for bodies to listen, for us to trust ourselves. Truthfulness with ourselves is called integrity. I say I'm going to do something and I do it. I walk the walk, I don't just talk the talk. Truthfulness with others is honesty. Now, it's very important that we speak our truths even when it's uncomfortable. A lot of times we want to say the nice thing, we want to be the nice person, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, or we don't want to get into trouble. But if we don't share those things that are important, if we don't share what we're really feeling, gaps will start growing in our relationship because people can always sense it. Even if they're not aware of it consciously, on a subconscious level, they can tell you're holding something back. You're not being real with them. You're not sharing your whole self. And sometimes it's little things. Sometimes it's big things, like who are you really? What are your secrets for those who deserve to hear them? Anytime there's dishonesty in your relationships of any kind, friendship, romantic, there's not going to be deep connection. And that dishonesty with other people will eventually affect you. So what would it be like to live in authenticity? What would it be like to live in your truth and to share your truth freely and comfortably with other people? What would it be like to say what you mean and mean what you say, and always be connected with what feels valid for you? And realize that truth and fact are not the same things. In our modern world, we like to conflate the two, that there is some objective fact that we can all agree upon, and that's bullshit. There is no objective fact. There is just our relative truth, as I see it. There's a parable that I really love about truth, which is the old men and the elephant. These 5 blind men all approach an elephant, and they describe what they feel as the truth of the elephant. But one of them is grabbing the ear, the other a tusk, another its trunk, another a leg, another its tail, another its back. And so they all have very different experiences of the same objective fact. But all of them, even though seeming conflicting, are also truthful. So it's not about saying this is the most accurate representation of what happened. It's saying this is my truth as I understand it. I know I've definitely had experiences with, like, my mother, for example, where she'll be like, that's not what happened. And I say, okay, well, maybe that's not what you said, but that's what I heard. So that's my truth of the experience. And it takes guts, it takes vulnerability for me to speak this aloud to you, for me to name it, as opposed to just holding it inside and keeping it as a passive resentment. I'm going to speak this discomfort. And I get maybe that's not what you mean, but that's what I heard. And I'm sharing my vulnerable truth with you. We're so afraid of hurting someone else's feelings or saying the wrong thing. But oftentimes to build connection, it's not about not challenging people. It's about risking. It's about saying, hey, this conversation is going to suck, but are you willing to hang in there with me? Because I've got some things I really need to share. Because ultimately somebody's going to respect you so much more because you did the hard but right thing, rather than skirt around the truth and then ultimately leave people disappointed. It's like, when breaking up with somebody, or even just, after a hookup or like 2 dates, and just say, hey, you know what, you're really great. You're not what I'm looking for at this moment. I think you're really wonderful. I just don't think it'd be great for us to continue on. Like, that's a lot healthier than just ghosting. It's a lot healthier than lying or saying, no, it's just I'm really busy. Because we all know that's fake as shit. So what would it be like for you to live in your truth? How can you cultivate it? I talk about this a lot more in my upcoming book, so I'm sure I'll have more to say. Anyhow, hope you have a great day. Namaste, y'all.